Bulldog logo above that in the back, or I mean, maybe it says OT. I think that's what it says, OT above the numbers in the back, has the Bulldog logo right above the words Tech on the front. As for Oakland Wildcats, the home team, they are in all white, and their colors are white and blue. They have blue Wildcats going across the front of their jersey, blue trim down the sides. Below Wildcats font has their numbers in plain blue, and then across the back of the jerseys are their numbers as well in plain blue. It's going to be Bendy facing off against Hadia Owens for the tip-off, as we are about to get underway here from Laney College for the 2015 OAL Girls Basketball Championship. Ball bouncing around the tip, and it gets into the hands of the Wildcats, who will start first. And going to the lane and missing the shot there for Oakland was Ariana Williams. And so Tech pulls down the missed shot. Now Tech slow to get it across the timeline. They swing it out to a wide-open Clemens. Clemens making moves to the lane, kind of congested in the paint. Her shot goes off the glass and misses. And now it's the Wildcats who are running free. Three-point shot from the side. No good. That was Kiana Bendy, one of the team's starting captains, who missed a shot. And now the full-court press here against the Bulldogs. They're trying to find someone open, trying to break through the press. They do. Ball loose on the floor. It's looking to be a scramble. We'll see who's going to come up with it. It was in the hands of Alasia Clemens for the Bulldogs, and they're the ones that are going to retain possession of the ball. So kind of a sloppy start here to the first quarter, Allie.
Yeah, they're certainly, and rushing it back and forth, and that was something that Coach Woolridge says, that they run the ball a lot more, and so that's something that we're going to see. But right now we're seeing them really kind of throw it down court and try to get ahead.
Shot from just in front of the free throw line, missed there by Oakland Tech's Hadia Owens. The inbound coming from their point guard, Elijah Woolridge. And they're going to say that there was an off-ball foul, so the Lady Bulldogs will get to inbound the ball once again. It'll be Woolridge who swings it out for Nyela Cade. And Nyela Cade hits the top of the key three to give her team the early lead. 3-0 steal there from the Bulldogs, and they cash that in as well, make that a 5-0 start here to this game. Did you see who made that two-point shot off the steal, Allie?
I believe that was number 12,
Woolridge.
I believe it was Laisha Woolridge.
So Woolridge coming up with the steal and then making the bucket. She has been quite good at doing everything this year for the Bulldogs. Leads the team in points per game with 17.3, steals per game as well with 2.8. Shot going around the rim and in there for Kiana Bendy. She gets her name on the board, and now it's 5-2. Once again, the Bulldogs just trying to break that press. Air ball, corner three, no good, but the rebound tracked down by Kiana Balat, who swings it back into the hands of Clemens, who missed a second straight consecutive time. She's missed all her shots today. Has Balat trying to settle for that mid-range jumper from the side. Bendy with some nice moves to the lane, going off the glass and scooping it in. And she now has her Wildcats trailing by just a single point. 5-4 now the score with just over 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. It's Cade who stops the dribble, then hands it off to Owens, who goes back to Cade. Cade working here against that being Serena Williams. Make that Caitlin Safon. And Alasia Woolridge with the tough running jumper gets it to go. 7-4 now your score. Woolridge with 4 points to lead all Bulldogs. And a foul down low. I believe on Hadia Owens.
Yeah, number 23, Hadia Owens.
So for Owens, a foul there. And the shot missed by Yajide Spearman on her first free throw attempt. Girl known as Yaya, who supposedly got a full ride from UConn offered to her. But she's trying to get to go to the University of California, so she has not quite accepted that offer. She did cash in her second free throw. And so the score is now set at 7-5, clock stopping 5 minutes and 37 seconds into the first quarter. Inbound pass for the Wildcats. It's Bendy, double teamed. Has the ball knocked away from her, but luckily gets back into the hands of another Wildcat. Bendy, who got the ball, swung it back out to the top. Now it's Yajide Spearman from deep. Can't connect. Hadia Owens pulling down the rebound and then is just harassed down low by the Wildcats. And I believe the Bulldogs call the timeout with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. It's the Oakland Tech Bulldogs leading 7-5 over the Oakland High Wildcats here for the 2015 Oakland Athletic League Basketball Championships on the NFHS Network. It's a minute timeout. So both squads talking it over. What have you noticed early in this game, Allie?
Well, certainly with Oakland Tech, I'm seeing a lot of really aggressive. They've missed a couple shots, but the fact of the matter is that they've been able to create those shots. And so a really strong start from Tech, and the things that the Wildcats have done for Oakland seems to be starting to work out a little bit better. When they are getting shots, they're seeming to make them or get pretty close.
Tech has definitely been more aggressive, and they've had to do so in breaking from the press. It's such a hard defense to have to attack. It's just hard just getting the ball across the middle of the court, let alone getting off a shot. And right now some confusion. I guess they're just waiting for the whole timeout to be considered finalized, as both girls broke from their timeout breaks rather early. And there's the final second, and now the teams will be able to inbound the ball. It'll be Alasia Clemens inbounding it to the point guard, Woolridge. Woolridge with the long cross-court pass up to Naila Cade. No substitutions made in that break for the Bulldogs. They'll stay with their starting five of Woolridge, Cade, Clemens, Bellett, and Owens. A missed shot there by the Bulldogs. Ball bouncing around, and snapping the ball up from her feet was Hadia Owens. And they're going to say that she traveled there, kind of squirming around on the floor with the ball is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's always hard when you end up on the ground and you just have to not move, but then you have players swarming you at the same time. So best she could, but it traveled.
The Lady Bulldogs thought maybe they would get the up-down call and remain with the ball, but that wasn't to be the case. And so now the Wildcats have it in their own offensive end. It's Bendy, who had dribbled and stopped, swinging it out to the top. And nice ball movement here by the Wildcats. Missed shot down low by Spearman, but the Wildcats still have the ball. And actually, correction, that was Aaliyah Venable-Sims, who is now checked into the game for the Wildcats. Bendy, whose shot was no good, but she was fouled on the shot, so she'll shoot 2 free throws. The third foul here for Oakland Tech compared to only 1 against the Wildcats. Bendy's first free throw rattles in and out. And during this free throw time and break from the action, it's the coach, Orlando Gray, having a chat with the other 4 ladies that are out there on the court right now for the Wildcats. Bendy about to attempt free throw number 2, and that one swishes in. So she now has 5 points on the day to lead all scorers. 7-6 the score. Tech leading by 1. On the floor right now for the Wildcats, it's Deja Stokes, Aaliyah Venable-Sims, who checked off the bench, along with Yajide Spearman, Kiana Bendy, and Lauren Tramiel, who now is in. Tramiel, the main point guard for this team, but head coach Orlando Gray saying she likes to start out the first couple of minutes and kind of sit and see what the opposing team does. And look at Tramiel, fresh off the bench and getting her first set of points on the layup. So obviously that works to her advantage, the fact that she kind of sits and kind of stalks her prey before coming in there and really going on the hunt and on the prowl. We should see Tramiel in for most of the game, as he spelled Caitlin Safon, the girl that starts for her while she gets that time to really analyze her opponent.
Yeah, well, when we talked to Coach Gray, we really asked, have you ever dealt with a player like that? And he said no, but, we see that it certainly is a thing that she's done, and it seems to be working for her.
8-7 the score. The Wildcats leading by 1. Thanks to that made free throw from Kiana Bendy. Clock stops with 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Another foul caused by Tech. And that foul is going to go against Woolridge. 4 fouls now on Tech compared to only 2 for the Wildcats. Wildcats, like I said, taking their time to move the ball up the floor. And it's Deja Stokes who travels with the ball into the lane, and so turnover there gives the ball back to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and at the moment we're seeing kind of the way that each team is progressing their own strategy, where really Tech is staying on the perimeter for the most part. And, on the other hand, you see the Wildcats that are charging in.
Some sloppiness there as Tech tried to run up the floor, and an offensive foul there against the Wildcats. That was Yajide Spearman who charged, picking up the third foul for the team there. And so Tech to inbound, but yeah, you're seeing the contrasting of styles. Tech would like to run and gun, get the ball up the floor in a hurry. As for the Wildcats, they're a little bit more slower and sustaining their pace to get the ball up. Getting down to a knee to try to grab the loose ball was Naila Cade for the Bulldogs. The jump ball there, or it looks to be the early call from the referees, is that it will be a jump ball in favor of the Bulldogs, but no, it's going to go to the Wildcats. Despite the pointing of the finger by Hadia Owen, she thought that it was going to be Oakland Tech's ball, but that is not the case. And so it is Venable Sims who inbounds it to Tramiel. Tramiel back to Venable Sims. And now they're working that outside game. Tramiel to Venable Sims, who now moves it into the hands of Spearman, who goes back to Venable Sims, working around the perimeter of the Wildcats. Now they get it down inside. And finally, Tramiel back to time's going to start becoming an issue. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Deep shot rattles out for the Wildcats, and then a foul there on Jayani Lewis, who is now checked in for Tech. Foul's going to go against the Wildcats. So now each team with 4 team fouls. So Tech now has Gianni Lewis on the floor with Woolridge, as well as Arion Abraham, as Lewis's shot misses. And now the Wildcats have the ball. Hadia Owens and Naila Cade round off the 5 on the floor for the Bulldogs. Wildcats lose the ball out of bounds, and so another turnover there. Bulldogs with the ball. Like I said, each team, Allie, really displaying a little bit of sloppiness here to start this game. Maybe it's more nerves than anything else. With so much on the line, not only a city championship, but also an automatic bid to the NorCal Regional Playoffs and a chance to compete for state.
Yeah, certainly the adrenaline's high, especially in the first quarter, and the first and the fourth, of course. But, you know, it's one of those, if you're Tech and they're trying to run the ball down or really just throw it down the court, and sometimes an overthrow happens, or on the other hand, you have the Wildcats who might be trying to run a little bit too fast and forgetting the ball at times, or missing it.
We're into the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Hook shot is in and one for Arion Abraham. A do-it-all player. A senior who is tall, could be the forward, could be the center, but also could play like a guard the way she attacks the rim. Very quick. And really, she's a starter on most teams, but head coach Michael Woolridge says he likes having her come off the bench and coming in. It keeps her fresh, and she's more of a beast that way.
Yeah, I mean, and especially if you have the ability to keep someone on the bench with so much power, you might as well do it.
She misses her free throw attempt. Wildcats got the rebound, and they missed their shot down the floor, and so now it's Tech, run and gun, wide open lady down the lane. That is, once again, Arion Abraham, and once again, She puts it up off the glass with a chance for a three-point play after being fouled.
Yeah, I mean, and just going back to right off the bench, and if you have someone like that, what a nice little secret weapon you have on not even one of your starters, but to be able to bring her on, and just show the power that she has already.
Abraham, like I said, 5'11", plays very good for her size, very quick. She averages only 4.9 points per game, but her defense is where she's really meant a lot to this team, especially rebounding, leading the team with 8 rebounds a game average, especially defensively, averaging 4.7 a game. Once again, she misses her free throw attempt. So not as solid from the line is Abraham, or at least not so far here today. Overall in the season coming into this game, she was 26 of 55 for a 47% free throw percentage, which is not too bad. Her team leading by 3, however, 11-8 is the score. Some more fans checking into the game as it's progressing. Game starting here early afternoon time, so a lot of family members and parents probably still trying to make their way home from commutes. I don't imagine the crowd to be this sparse for the boys' game. By then, nighttime had settled in, and it's going to be packed house here at Laney College.
Yeah, it helps when it's a couple hours later, and should be a fun one too.
Clock stops with 1:20 as another foul goes against the Bulldogs. That's their 15th foul here, compared to 16 fouls against the Wildcats. I have to get caught up on who are the recipients of those fouls after the first quarter break.
Yeah, the Wildcats have been able to have done a good job of being able to draw the fouls by driving in and, kind of taking advantage of Tech's over aggressiveness at times to try to get ahead in that foul count and get a couple up on the scoreboard for these key players.
And that's actually going to be a technical foul issued to Hadia Owens there for Tech. So Bendy's first shot, no good. She'll have another free throw, which she is all by her lonesome, and then the Wildcats will also receive the ball. Head coach Michael Woolridge trying to get a little bit of an explanation from the ref as Bendy makes that free throw. But obviously he is not pleased with the technical call there against his center Owens. So with that made free throw by Bendy, it's now a 2-point game, 11-9 the score. Bulldogs out in front.
And, it's kind of funny because when we talked to Coach Woolridge earlier, he mentioned Owens is never having an attitude, very steady and consistent. So I guess when the championship is on the line, tensions can run a little high.
Sure, and we're only in the first
Yeah,
quarter.
exactly.
Imagine where tensions could be here for both teams as we embark the fourth and final quarter. Some missed shots there by the Wildcats, but doing a great job of cleaning up the offensive glass were the Oakland High Wildcats, and then it's Bendy who finally gets it to go in. Bendy now with 8 points, leading all scorers, ties the game up at 11. A missed 3-point shot there from the Bulldogs, and then a chase down and errant throw there from Oakland Tech's Jayani Lewis will result in a turnover there on the far side of the court. Clock stops with just over 43 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And it is Caitlin Safon back out onto the court for the Wildcats. She's out there with Yajide Spearman, Aaliyah Venable-Sims, Ariana Williams, and Kiana Bendy. The Wildcats flub up their trip to their offensive side. It was a steal by the Bulldogs, and then they were a little loosey-goosey running there and had the ball knocked away from them out of bounds. So it will be the Bulldogs to have possession. As for them right now, and they're 5 on the floor, it's Lewis, along with Ariane Abraham, Naila Cade, Elisha Woolridge, and Hadia Owens. Woolridge battling hard in the paint. And she is fouled by Deja Stokes for the Wildcats.
A nice little inbound technique by Woolridge, just throwing it in and actually just hitting the jersey of one of the Wildcats and grabbing it back and being able to throw it up to get back onto the field free throw line.
Oh yeah, Woolridge is a smart player. She is, like her father, a coach just on the floor.
Yeah.
She misses her first free throw. And that's kind of alarming because Woolridge, one of the best free throw percentages on the team, with 64%. As I mentioned, has committed to the University of Cal State East Bay to continue playing ball at the collegiate level. She banks in the second of her 2 free throw attempts there. And with 5 points, she leads all Bulldogs. And that 1 free throw made has given her team the lead at 12-11. A bad cross-court pass sails out of bounds against the Wildcats. And so now the Bulldogs, with 6.7 seconds left, shot clock will be turned off, and they'll have the last possession here in the first quarter. Or they should, at least. And the slow inbound pass from Jayani Lewis to Woolridge, who nearly lost the ball, puts up a shot at the final second to try to beat the buzzer. It goes off the glass and cannot connect. And so our first quarter will end here with the score. The Oakland Tech Bulldogs 12 and the Oakland High Wildcats 11 from Laney College in downtown Oakland. NFHS Network, it all starts here.
And you are watching live coverage of the Oakland Section Girls Basketball Championship on the NFHS Network, NFHSnetwork.com. Both sides, but at times they're throwing it away or maybe not, fully making sure that someone is paying attention before throwing that pass. And on the other hand, you also have the defenses being alert on both sides as well and taking advantage of those opportunities to take over possession as well. So certainly we're seeing from Tech that they seem to be staying more around the perimeter and farther out, and you see the Wildcats of Oakland High kind of driving in a lot more and drawing those fouls early, as well as, but then we also see Tech drawing a couple fouls themselves as well.
Kiani Bendy sure has been a player as well, right? Leading all scorers with 8 points, and she has gotten to the lane a lot, but has come up kind of half and half on her free throw attempts. She'll hit 1 of 2 free throw attempts, but really she's been a player, especially down low.
Yeah, definitely. It seems that she seems to be just about everywhere on the court whenever they get down there. So she's certainly already been a huge part of this team, and we've seen how she's been leading her team all this time.
It will be the Bulldogs to start with the ball here in the second quarter. On the floor for the Bulldogs, it's Naila Cade who inbounds it to Woolridge, along with Kiana Balat, Hadia Owens, and Alacia Clemens. So that was their starting 5 to begin this game. Right now, the Bulldogs playing a little ball movement, playing the same kind of game that their opponent normally plays, slowing it down a little bit. Woolridge being almost triple team there on the far side. And now it's Naila Cade who's really feeling the defensive pressure. Still dribbling the ball, trying to work around it. Gets it into the hands of Clemens. Clemens stops, dials up a deep three-point shot to try to beat the shot clock. No good. It'll be shot clock violation there. And so the Wildcats will inbound the ball.
Well, certainly a tough balance between wanting to slow down your possession and making sure that you get to the rim in time. But probably a good start for Tech to be able to throw the ball across the key and around the 3-point line to be able to spread out without having any turnovers right then, except until the shot clock ran out.
And a foul there against the Bulldogs. So now each team with 7 fouls. So pretty soon each team is going to start being in the penalty. And actually that right there will already start the penalty here for the Bulldogs, as the 1-and-1 there, first free throw missed by Aaliyah Venable-Sims, who's on the floor for the Wildcats. She is joined by Lauren Tramiel, as well as Ariana Williams, Kiana Bendy and Yajide Spearman. And now a foul there against the Bulldogs. I believe that's Yajide Spearman picking up a foul. And so Woolridge on the 1-and-1 can't connect. So each team not having too good of a day from what is essentially called the free throw line. You'd think that they would be free and easy to make, but teams not having such success from the free throw line today. Missed shot, missed runner there. Break for the Wildcats. They have a 2-on-1 brewing. Shot off the rim and no good. Drawing contact, however, a good job of doing it was Ariana Williams, and so she'll be shooting 2 free throws. Ariana Williams, who is yet to score in this game, still scoreless after rattling out the first of 2 free throw attempts. Substitution on the floor as Hadia Owens will check off and go to the bench, and Ariane Abram will come in to spell her for the Bulldogs. Second free throw, also no good by Williams. And the Bulldogs getting called for the box-out foul there. Michael Woolridge showing some gestures with his hands, trying to state his case for how he thought that was a ludicrous call. And he is not happy over there on the sideline, shaking his head in disbelief as it sends Ariana Williams back to the free throw line.
Yeah, well, that's when you want to be aggressive when you're boxing out, but sometimes if you have your arms a little bit too low, they're going to call you for that. But I was almost thinking it could have been an over-the-back call at the same time, but apparently the refs saw it differently.
And Ariana Williams this time cashes in the first of 2 free throws there, and so now the game is tied at 12 points apiece. For Williams, that's her first point in the game. The refs now conferring with the ball before they hand it over to Williams to shoot her second of 2 free throws. Clock stopped here with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half. Williams with this free throw can take the lead for her Wildcats. And she does so. Off the glass and in. So that gives the team the lead 13-12 in favor of Oakland High. Cade working against the double team, able to find Woolridge open, and then Woolridge getting called for the double dribble. And she cannot believe it. Started the dribble, stopped, and then picked it back up against this hounding trap defense that the Wildcats put on.
Yeah, the Wildcats defense has done a good job this second quarter of being able to apply the pressure and really keep the Bulldogs from getting any sort of momentum so far in this second quarter.
Yeah, they have not been able to score a point yet. Ball loose and on the floor, it'll roll out of bounds. And it goes off of the Wildcats' point guard, number 10, Lauren Tramiel. And so the Bulldogs get to inbound the ball. Woolridge working through that double team. Things slow down a little bit now. Wide open girl down low, but her shot cannot go. That was Kiana Balot. And then a foul called against Abraham. And that foul call is going to go against Deja Stokes. Who now has multiple fouls in this game. As for Ariane Abraham, she connects on the free throw there. Game tied at 13. Here comes free throw number 2 for Ariane. And that one swishes in. So each team starting off their points here in the second quarter with consecutive free throws made. And now it's Bendy with a nice move to the lane, kind of twisting and bending through the defense. Puts her team back up front, 15-14. The foul there called against Venable Sims for Oakland High. It's Woolridge who is fouled and will shoot free throws. And Woolridge's first free throw cannot go in. The Wildcat cheerleaders making some noise, trying to urge their fans to get loud and disrupt Woolridge at the line. She connects on the second of 2 free throws. So the game is tied at 15 for each squad. Michael Woolridge barking out instructions to his girls from the sideline. The Bulldogs will inbound the ball after the Wildcats threw the ball out of bounds. It's Elisha looking at everything, finally releases a pass off to Clemens. Clemens then dishes it to Bellot. Bellot comes back to Woolridge, who is trailing behind her. Woolridge with a pretty spin move through the lane, and it rattles in and out. Rebound pulled down by Kiana Bendy of the Wildcats. Now she gets it out front, and the Wildcats trying to make quick pace, but the ball stolen by the Bulldogs. One-on-one, free opportunity off the glass, and in! A pretty layup there put in by the Bulldogs. And that was Danae Taylor, who is off the bench and makes an early impact here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Danae Taylor, the lone freshman on the Bulldogs for Oakland Tech. And we talked to Woolridge beforehand and asked him, after the starters of the six-man, who are we expecting to see? He definitely pointed her out and said that you'll definitely see her during this game.
Reminded me of that play. Kaplan will know what I'm talking about. When we got together a couple weeks ago for the wrestling finals, when we saw Steph Curry do it when the Warriors were last at home before their long road trip. Had that steal and then went coast to coast for the putback on the layup. And so Danae Taylor now at the line after she was fouled. She misses the first of 2 free throw attempts.
Anytime you get compared to Steph Curry, it's a good day.
Oh, yeah. Some substitutions now on the floor for the Wildcats, or they thought about it, but then drew back. It looked as if Emily Hill was going to come in for the Wildcats, but she'll sit. Meanwhile, Taylor makes the second of 2 free throw attempts. She now has 3 points, and her team leading by 3 points, 18-15. A running layup shot there, missed by the Wildcats, that being Venable Sims. And on the rebound attempt, another quick foul called against the Wildcats. So 10 fouls now for the Wildcats here. It's just been a foul frenzy. 10 for the Wildcats, 9 for the Bulldogs. And it's going to be Ariane Abraham at the line. Or I'm sorry, make that Hadia Owens. And Owens misses the first of 2 free throw attempts.
It's so important for both sides to be able to run up the fouls on the opposing team. But now what's important is to be able to make these free throws, which we've seen quite a few misses on both sides. And really what the score is right now could be so much higher.
And now the Bulldogs coming with the trap defense. Like I said, playing a little bit of the Wildcats game, giving it right back to the Wildcats. But Sims is able to break through the trap and find a wide open Bendy. Right by the bucket, she puts it off the glass and in. It's now 18-17, Wildcats within 1. Bendy, the only scorer in double digits on the floor for either squad. 12 points so far this evening. And then a wide open jumper there by Elijah Clemens, her first set of points in this game. And it's now 20-17, 3-point lead back for the Bulldogs. And stepping out of bounds on the shot attempt for the Wildcats there was number 3, that being Deja Stokes, who will now come off the floor and have a seat on the bench. So for the Wildcats, their 5 on the floor looks like this. It is Yajide Spearman as well as Kiana Bendy, Aaliyah Venable-Sims, Caitlin Sapon, and Olivia Moore. Shot put in there by the Wildcats, and now a steal from the Wildcats. Momentum could be swinging their way. Adia Owens with a blocked shot. Adia Owens saying, "Get that out of my house." And the Wildcat fans thought that there was a foul involved.
Really 2 straight solid drives from Yaya. The first one being able to really jump over the Bulldog and get the first one in, and the next one was a block, but an excellent job by her as well.
So Spearman, who picks up some points on that last drive for the Wildcats to make it 2019, and this shot by the point guard Woolridge for the Bulldogs, and it's Bendy with the rebound for the Wildcats. Now Venable-Sims, bounce pass over to Olivia Moore. Moore now getting it into the hands of Venable-Sims. Right now the Wildcats moving the ball around the perimeter. It's Sapon working against Woolridge. Woolridge sticks out a hand, tips it, deflects it, comes up with the steal. Now has a wide open trip to the lane and scoops it in. And I noticed Woolridge with a cast around her finger. She has it taped up there on her right hand. (22-19) the score. Clock stops with 2 minutes and 31 seconds as a timeout is taken by the Wildcats.
And to purchase a DVD keepsake of today's event, click on the blue Get the DVD button directly under your event video player, or click on the Buy a DVD button on the top right-hand corner of the NFHS Network website. Make today's memories last a lifetime with a DVD from the NFHS Network. We are high school.
All right, thank you, Allie. Wildcats cheerleaders doing a cheer, as for the Bulldogs, Michael Woolridge, emphatic in his way of trying to describe what he wants his girls to start doing here when they resume from the break.
One big thing that I just saw Woolridge telling them is just be aggressive. These last 2.5 minutes of the first half, they've been called for a couple tough fouls, whether it's rebounding or off shot. But he really wants to make sure that Tech is able to stay aggressive and stay focused on stopping the Wildcats from keeping it going and being able to take the ball and take more possession over to get a lead before heading into the locker room.
Right now, Tech with a 3-point advantage. And with these two teams just kind of going back and forth, it never seems like an advantage is safe. As right there, the Wildcats respond off the break with a made shot there to make it 22-21. It's Woolridge right now, running the floor for Tech, swinging it into the hands of Cade. Cade going down low to Owens. Owens against Bendy, cannot get it to go. Bendy stood tall. Kiana, known as Kiki, and Bendy cannot, or I should say her teammate cannot get it to go. That being Spearman, known as Yaya. Her shot missing down low. And one of the referees telling head coach Orlando Gray to get back to the bench, as she felt he was making his way a little too close to the playing floor there after that foul call against his team. Woolridge at the free throw line makes the first free throw. And now he will substitute Kiki for Ariana Williams, and Bendy is not too happy about being taken off the floor right now. Woolridge's second free throw also good, so she started to figure out her free throw stroke here so far in the second quarter, as she's made 3 of them. 24-21 the score. And the foul's going to go against Ariane Abraham of Tech. So here's Tramiel at the line. Tramiel with a very high arcing release. And the first free throw cannot go in. Do you know who made the last shot for Oakland?
I do not know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's some fans that were coming on into the stadium. Partially blocked my view for a little bit. But Tramiel knocks in the second of 2 free throws to bring the gap within 2. 24-22 in favor of the Bulldogs, and Ariane Abraham. A series of errors as she got called for the foul moments ago, and then just then passes the ball out and just throws it out of bounds. Trying to get that cross-court fling to her teammate. The Wildcats bounce the ball off their feet and out of bounds. And so now, they're going to say it's actually off the Tech Bulldogs.
Yeah, certainly a tough call. It looked like it was off the knee of one of the Bulldogs at first, but then, once the ref makes a call, maybe my eyes are deceiving me, but I guess not.
So indeed, it is the Wildcats who will have the ball with 1:26, down by 2. O-High against O-Tech here at Laney College to determine the 2015 Oakland Athletic League Girls Basketball Champion. It's Spearman being pressured hard with that trap defense from the Bulldogs. And she is fouled by number 1, that being Danae Taylor. Taylor, who's on the floor. Actually, that's going to be, number 11, Alasia Clemens, not Taylor. And Spearman's first free throw short off the rim and out. Yaya looking to connect on free throw number 2, and she does. And now it's only a 1-point game, 24-23. Nice pass from Clemens inside to her teammate Abraham, but Abraham cannot get it to go. And the ball deflected out of bounds. And that is off of Tech. And some Fremont fans making it into the building out here, as I see, getting ready for the boys' game later on tonight. Fremont and McClymonds. It's Venable Sims who inbounds the ball to Tramiel, along with Emily Hill, Ariana Williams, and Yaya Spearman, the 5 on the floor for the Wildcats. Venable Sims misses near side from the corner 3, and the ball gets stolen out of the hands of a Tech person, and now it's Williams who tries to get it inside. She cannot get it to go. Ball bounces around. Spearman picks it up. Now it's back into the hands of Ariana Williams, and Williams will finally get fouled. And the foul will be called against either Hadia Owens or Woolridge. I believe it's Hadia Owens.
Well, I think she called on Ariane Abraham, was currently hurting. Certainly took a hard hit to the face at the same time. So even while she was hurting, was still trying to do her best to take it down, but grabbed a foul.
So hopefully Abraham is okay. Williams misses the first of 2 free throws. This is a second as well. Hadia Owens brings down the board. Long cross-court pass up front for Kiana Belot from Naila Cade. No good. And now that starts things up the floor for the Wildcats, but Cade was there to steal the ball. And now Cade running with the ball, trying to get past this defense of the Wildcats. And another steal. And now it's a 3-on-1. Wide open three-point attempt. No good by Yaya Spearman. But she gets the loose ball and then runs into Kiana Belot. Are they going to call the charging foul? No. It looks like they're going to call the foul on Belot. She cannot believe it. Spearman, who ran into her in an attempt to track down her missed shot. And on the collision, they're going to say Belot with the foul. She's talking things over with the ref. She thought that was a charge.
Yeah, you know, in a way, it looked just like a really hard collision between the two. If anything, neither's foot was totally planted at the way. So, you know, it would have been hard to call it a charge in that situation. But really, I thought it was just a collision after the back and forth action that we just saw in that exchange.
Hadia Owens will have a seat on the bench for the Bulldogs as Spearman puts in the second of two free throw attempts. Tie game, 24-24, 7 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. Woolridge's shot short off the iron, and it goes out of bounds, stopping the clock with 3 seconds exactly. It'll be Bulldogs ball. Woolridge with the chance to inbound and have her team take the lead. Long range three-point shot is in to beat the buzzer. Jayani Lewis from downtown makes it a 27-24 point ball game as we go into halftime. What a shot from Jayani Lewis. Dialing that one up from way out of the area code off the inbound pass from Woolridge. And she gets it to go to beat the buzzer before halftime and give her team the 3-point lead. Exciting action here from Laney College in Oakland, California. Folks, you do not want to go anywhere. We're going to break, and then we'll come back with a little bit of a halftime show and analysis of what we saw in the first half. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to the NFHS Network and its coverage of the 2015 Oakland Athletic League Girls Basketball Championship. Of which were free throws that were made, but that was back in the first quarter. As far as a lady that really got it going for free throws there was kind of a combination. Spearman had made 2 separate free throws on 2 separate attempts, and then Ariana Williams was the only one to hit 2 free throws in 1 single attempt there in the second quarter. Those are the only points for Williams. 13 points scored in the second quarter for the Wildcats, with their 11 in the first, makes for 24 points for them. And so, folks, that's going to do it for the halftime show as we are about to tip off to start the second half here from Laney College on the NFHS Network. And it's going to be the Wildcats starting with the ball, trailing by 3, 27-24 is the score. A deep 3-point shot from beyond the top of the key there by Kiana Bendy cannot go. Actually make that Yaya Spearman. But the putback goes up and in for the Wildcats, 26-27.
Yeah, even with that, we can see a much more controlled sort of possession in that first half. Just even the shot that missed was still a solid shot and a nice rebound and kind of a recuperation after that to be able to get the first 2 points of the half.
And did you see who put those ones in for the Wildcats? I'm sorry.
I believe it was 33.
Bendy.
Yep, Miss Bendy.
Wow. Kiki.
Well, we were talking about it during the halftime show, so you might as well just continue it on into the third quarter.
Yeah, she has scored points for her Wildcats in each quarter so far tonight. Ball goes out of bounds, and so it will be the Bulldogs to inbound. It's Woolridge into Hadia Owens. Woolridge back to Owens, who stops and then looks for a trailing Woolridge. Woolridge, long pass over towards Naila Cade, one of the captains, who gets back into the hands of Owens. Owens swinging it out wide for a running Alasia Clemens, who cannot get her shot to go. So it's Clemens, Woolridge with the steal as she has the ball. And Woolridge's shot partially blocked by Bendy. And so that starts a break for the Wildcats, and it's Spearman throwing it up and in, the no-look shot. And that gives the Wildcats a lead, 28-27. I was going to say, it's Clemens, Woolridge, Cade, Owens, and Balot on the floor for the Bulldogs as the Wildcats get another runner to go. This time it's Lauren Tramiel. 30-27 now, three-point swing for, or three-point advantage for the Wildcats, and they keep it coming with great defense, great steal, but Woolridge there to recover the steal. Woolridge's shot blocked by Bendy, goes back into the hands of, that being Kiana Balot, her shot blocked by Bendy, and they're going to call the foul on Bendy. For the first foul here in the half. So here is Kiana Balot, who is yet to get some points on the board for the Bulldogs, and she stays scoreless as her free throw just a bit deep there, clanks off the back part of the iron and no good. There's Allie's point of the missed free throws continuing to happen here, as this time short off the iron and no good. Ball rolls out of bounds, and so it'll be Wildcats ball as no one touched it. Six unanswered points to start the second half for the Wildcats, and throwing up a ball and drawing contact, but they're going to say it was a travel on Lauren Tramiel. She thought she did enough to maybe garner a foul, but that was not the case. The ref saw her moving kind of sloppily and really never had control of her feet. And now it's Woolridge in deep towards Balot, who throws one up without looking. Her shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Emily Lewis of the Wildcats. Now the Wildcats on a 2-on-2 break. It's Yaya Spearman just releasing one, and it's no good. Rebound pulled down by Balot, and now it's Woolridge moving it up the floor. 1-on-3, slices and dices through the lane, but her shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Ariana Williams of the Wildcats. Ball goes out of bounds off the Bulldogs and will remain with the Wildcats. For them on the floor right now, it's Aaliyah Venable-Sims, number 34, along with number 32, that being Yajide Spearman, and number 11, Emily Hill, number 10, Lauren Tramiel, and number 23, Ariana Williams. Another missed shot there by the Wildcats. A tumble for the ball, and it goes to the Bulldogs. As great job passing it off the floor for Ariane Abraham, who's now checked in for the Bulldogs. It's Woolridge who nearly lost the ball, but still maintained the dribble. Finds Adia Owens. Owens stops, now picks up her dribble and gets the runner to go. The first set of points here in this third quarter, second half for the Bulldogs. And it's now 30-29. And for Adia Owens, that's actually her first set of points altogether in the game.
Yeah, well, earlier in the game we talked to the coach about her being steady and consistent and just being a coach's dream, and just as a side note also has the highest grades on the team, something that Coach Gray is very, very proud, that Coach Woolridge is very proud about. But, it's going to be important for the big players to be able to step up in the second half and put a few points on the board to be able to keep it consistent.
Adia Owens, who last year garnered All-City. We don't know the results from this year as they wait till after the OAL finals to determine it, but Owens was honorable mention last year as a junior, as the Wildcats get one of their two free throw attempts to go in, making the score now 31-29 by Lauren Tramiel. And now the Bulldogs, they had a 2-on-1 break, and the shot and foul down low against number 10, Lauren Tramiel, on number 1, Danae Taylor, for the Bulldogs, so she'll go to the line. Other girls here playing tonight that were All-City last year, you have Kiki Bendy, who last year was first team as a junior, and Danae Taylor makes the first of two free throw attempts there to make it now 31-30. Alicia Woolridge, also first team from Tech. Naila Cade was second team last year as a sophomore, as Danae Taylor makes both free throw attempts to tie the game up to 31. Alasia Clemens, who was honorable mention last year from Tech as a sophomore. Shot there missed by Yaya Spearman. Deja Stokes, who's seen limited action here today for the Oakland Wildcats, she was honorable mention last year. Shot missed by Ariana Williams. So we remain tied. And now it's the Bulldogs working furiously to get the ball up the court. Sloppy ball handling there by Danae Taylor leads to a steal for the Wildcats. It's Venable Sims who cannot have control of the ball, but luckily she's saved by her teammate Spearman, who makes the running layup in and then draws a foul for a possible three-point play. A slashing foul there against number 4, that being Naila Cade. So Spearman with a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, Spearman really starting to heat up and create a highlight reel of her own in this third quarter.
Yeah, she leads all scorers for the Wildcats in this third quarter with 5 points. And so a timeout taken with 4 minutes and 2 seconds left in the third quarter. It's the Oakland High Wildcats leading 34-31 over the Oakland Tech Bulldogs.
And if you want to watch more of your school's great events like the game you're enjoying here today, then tell your school to sign up for the NFHS Network School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to www.nfhsnetwork.com/SBP.
Thank you, Allie. A festive scene here at Laney College as we have 4 different schools representing the championship games here tonight, which is the first time I've seen that, because the prior 2 years I've covered these events, I've seen teams that also had their teams in the girls' game as well. So last year was McClymonds that had both boys and girls playing in the championship game, and that was also the case back 2 years ago. McClymonds having both their boys and girls playing in the championship game. This year, McClymonds girls did not make it, but their boys are sitting anxiously waiting over there on the far side of the stands, waiting for their chance to play Fremont High in the second game of our doubleheader for the boys championship in the OAL. A block shot there. Racing all the way up the floor to make that block was Venable Sims on a shot from Hadia Owens. Woolridge gets knocked down to the floor. But losing the ball out of bounds. No foul call there. 34-31. Venable Sims' shot no good. And now it's into the hands of Tech, who's up and running. It's Danae Taylor. Nice pass inside to Woolridge. Woolridge makes the shot go. Her first set of points here in the third quarter. And now it's a 1-point ball game, 34-33. Nice bounce pass there from Tramiel to Venable Sims, who goes back to Tramiel. And Tramiel loses the ball out of bounds on her way to the lane. But the ball was blocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs, and so it will stay in possession of the Wildcats. Cute little guy in front of us. He's wearing the blue and white. We wonder if maybe he's an Oakland High fan. As the shot goes in from Ariana Williams. Her first set of points here in the third quarter, 36-33. Wildcats leading by 3. Missed deep shot there from Alasia Clemens of the Bulldogs. It's the Wildcats looking for someone to go to here. Moving the ball around. Sims, shot short off the glass, no good. Rebound cleared up by the Bulldogs. It's Clemens making her way through the defense. Great ball maneuvering and great way of just controlling the ball without losing it. She kind of just maneuvered her way right around the defense and getting the 2-point shot to go.
Yeah, we've seen that the Wildcats apply tons of pressure against Tech, and this is a great job by by the Wildcats to be able to actually come through and succeed in this one.
And Clemens, who circled the defense, started from the outside, went around about 4 Wildcat defenders, and then was wide open as she puts the layup off the glass and in to bring her team back within one once again. 36-35, the lead is in favor of the home team Wildcats, or at least a team that was designated the home team because of their superior league record that they had, an overall record, 21-5. They had only lost 1 league game, and that was to the Oakland Tech Bulldogs back in January. And the foul goes against Caitlin Safon, her first foul. She's out there on the floor for the Wildcats along with number 11, Emily Lewis, number 23, Ariana Williams, number 10, Lauren Tramiel, and number 3, Deja Stokes. Missed corner 3-point shot from the far side by the Bulldogs. It started to run for the Wildcats, and then Lewis's pass goes out of bounds. But I believe it was deflected out of bounds by the Bulldogs, so Ohio will remain in possession of the ball. Clock stopped with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Checking out for the Bulldogs is Danae Taylor. She will have a seat on the bench. And so for the Bulldogs on the floor, it's number 32, Jayani Lewis, number 12, Malaysia Woolridge, number 23, Hadia Owens, number 4, Naila Cade, and number 11, Alicia Clemens. The Wildcats nearly had backcourt violation called against them, but they saved the ball from going across the midcourt line. And so it's Tramiel, the point guard, working it around. She gets the ball back. Now looks for Spearman, who is wide open near side corner 3, no good. Rebound from Williams is a missed shot. Ball goes out of bounds, and so it'll be the Bulldogs to inbound. Fresh shot clock with 1 minute 25. Woolridge, who got the inbound pass from Cade, tried to pass it back to Cade, and then the shot was tipped out of bounds by Deja Stokes.
Yeah. As we're seeing here,
Woolridge throws the ball away as she was being defended hard by the Wildcats. It was tipped by Safon into the hands of Spearman, who loses it out of bounds, and so now back to the Bulldogs. Inbound pass from Owens to Jayani Lewis, and Lewis loses the ball, steal from Spearman. Spearman behind the back, around the back, and will draw the foul. Great sequence of events by Yajide Spearman.
Yeah, I mean, Oakland as a whole has done a great job of keeping it a much cleaner third quarter. They've had their ups and downs a little bit, but really they've been able to limit the damage and take advantage of so many more opportunities, and that's really been led by Yaya Spearman, and this is, her second, third time up at the line, but really kind of just making those important plays and driving in to be able to make something happen, if anything.
And like you said, I liked how you used the word clean, and not fouling as much here so far in this third quarter. Only 3 team fouls. They've been just pressuring on the defensive end, making the Bulldogs commit turnovers, but without having to foul them in the process.
Yeah, it certainly seems that as the Bulldogs have had to up the tempo, the mistakes have kind of upped themselves as well.
Spearman, who missed both of her free throw attempts. Woolridge with a fancy pass inside to a wide open Ariane Abraham, who connects off the glass. And so a 1-point ball game once again, 36-37.
And even with this cleaner game, or taking advantage of certain things that we mentioned, it's still only 36-37, and the fact that they've been able to keep it this close is a very exciting part of this game.
Cade sticks her foot out to block a pass from Tramiel to Spearman. So the Wildcats retaining possession of the ball, but stopping the clock. 24.6 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Some substitutions made on the floor by the Wildcats as Aaliyah Venable-Sims now checks in. And the shot clock has been turned off. It's Lauren Tramiel, one of the team's captains, a point guard with the ball, dribbling it out before making her way past the timeline. And now she has it into her team's offensive end. shot clock or game clock within 10 seconds. It's Spearman, whose pass attempt was blocked by Clemens. Chasing it down was Williams on the far side. And a foul call will go against the Bulldogs. And that foul call will go against, I believe, number 33, Arion Abraham. Fourth team foul called against the Bulldogs. And now some of the Fremont Tigers basketball hoopsters making their way into the gym, getting ready for their tilt against McClymonds. Running shot by Tramiel to beat the buzzer, no good. And so the third quarter will end with the Ojai Wildcats leading by 37-36 over the Oakland Tech Bulldogs. This to determine the 2015 Oakland Athletic League Girls Basketball Champion. Here on the NFHS Network, we are high school.
And join the conversation, fans. The NFHS Network is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, giving you access to the best in high school sports every week. Follow the NFHS Network on your favorite social media sites to keep up with all the high school action on the NFHS Network. #WeAreHighSchool.
And correction, it's actually the Bulldogs who lead by 37-36. I am mistaken. There, as I said, the score was in favor of the Wildcats. It's actually the Bulldogs who lead, and they have led at the end of each quarter.
Really, during the quarter itself, though, the lead has been able to go back and forth quite a bit. These teams have been certainly keeping each other on their toes and keeping it close into this fourth quarter, which is a little different than how they got here. Just as a quick history, with Oakland Tech beating Skyline 53-42 on the third, and Oakland beating the Clyman 58-45 in the semis.
What's important to note, though, is that this was the first quarter in which the Wildcats scored more than the Bulldogs, as the Wildcats outscored the Bulldogs 12-10 in that third quarter. 36-37 is the score. And we resume the game here, the fourth and final quarter from Laney College in downtown Oakland. Bulldogs start with the ball. They're marching from left to right on your screen. And it'll be Elisha Woolridge, the team's point guard, captain, do-it-all player, coach's daughter, at the free throw stripe. She misses the first of two free throw attempts here. Some substitutions on the floor for the Wildcats as Bendy comes back in along with Spearman, and they replace both number 22, Olivia Moore, and I believe number 3, Deja Stokes. Elisha Woolridge making the second of two free throw attempts there to make it now a 2-point game, 38-36. And now it's Woolridge swinging it out for Clemens. Clemens looking for Cade. Cade pressured down low. Nice bounce pass inside for Danae Taylor. Gets it to go. So Taylor, after being held scoreless, really didn't play much in the first quarter. She has made an impact for the following 3 quarters thus far. And then the Wildcats respond with a bucket of their own by Venable Sims. 40-38 the score. 2-point lead for the Bulldogs. Taylor going back out top to Woolridge. Woolridge being pressured by Spearman. Now she tosses it off to Taylor, who goes back to Woolridge, tiptoeing the line there below the bucket, and then Woolridge gets the points on the layup. 42-38. And another response by the Wildcats. Makes that 42-40.
Yes.
And I believe that was Bendy with the bucket. And then a made shot by Clemens. And so the fourth quarter, we're seeing A lot of made shots here, which is a good sign for both teams.
Yeah, both teams seem to be, not really slowing it down, but kind of taking their time enough to make the baskets when it counts and really start bumping up the score a little bit more than we've seen already.
Spearman kind of just throwing it up there and not getting it to go. However, the jump ball will go to the Wildcats when we get back. As timeout taken by the Wildcats. 44-40 is your score. The Bulldogs leading by 4.
And today's event is also available for all subscribers via our mobile site. Log on to NFHSnetwork.com from your smartphone or tablet and view live games or replays from anywhere.
All right, thank you, Allie. 15 points for Woolridge in this game. Leading all Bulldogs. Just one shy of Bendy's 16, who leads all scorers altogether. But Woolridge, possibly an early candidate for player of the game.
Absolutely. We knew both of those players are going to have a huge impact on their team's performance today, and already seeing how they're keeping it close on both sides.
Spearman wide open down the lane. No one really covered her. Everyone was just standing low towards the bucket. And so she gained some momentum on her way to the lane. And if the Wildcats go on to win, she would be an early candidate for player of the game. Another made bucket by the Bulldogs makes it 46-42. Wildcats down the floor, no good. On the shot attempt by number 44 for Oakland High. I don't have a name for her. However, it will be a lady at the line for the Wildcats after the foul call. And that is going to be Venable Sims. Do you know who made that last bucket for the Bulldogs?
I do
That
not.
one was a quick one.
Yeah.
With the second of 2 free throws put in by Sims. And so now it's a 3-point game, 46-43 in favor of the Bulldogs. Woolridge running the floor, passing it to Taylor, whose shot cannot go, off the side of the backboard. A fight for the ball, and it ends up in the favor of the Bulldogs. It's Woolridge working hard against the defense, throwing one up, no good. There to have her back was Kiana Balot, and Balot draws the foul on her shot attempt down low. The foul goes to that number 44, who we do not have a name for on the Wildcats. So Balot to shoot 2. First free throw, no good. Substitution now as number 44 will take to the bench, and it'll be Emily Hill coming in to spell her for the Wildcats. It's Hill, along with Venable Sims, Yaya Spearman, Kiki Bendy, and Lauren Chermiel. As for the Bulldogs, it's Kiana Balot, who's at the line right now, along with Woolridge, Clemens, Taylor, and Hadia Owens. Make that Naila Kane. And Balot cannot get either of her free throws to go, but then another quick foul. Down low this time on Clemens. Alasia Clemens, a junior, starting small forward for the Lady Bulldogs. And she will have 2 free throw attempts, as she put up a shot that was no good, but was fouled in the process. First free throw no good. It's 46-43. Clemens clanking one off the iron again. Another fight for the ball, scramble. And the Bulldogs are going to get possession of the ball, as it was Naila Cade who came tumbling down to the floor to get the loose ball. And Venable Sims will will have a seat on the bench for Oakland High. Oakland High, who's fitted out thanks to one of the star players in the NBA, that being Damian Lillard. Hooking all of Oakland High's athletic programs up with some clean uniforms. Head coach Orlando Gray telling us that the girls, as well as really everyone in the school, just thankful for that. Tech with the ball and just over 5 minutes left to play. They're enjoying a 3-point lead over High. It's Taylor to inbound it to Woolridge. Woolridge working to get Spearman. She passes it off to Clemens. Swings it to Cade, back to Taylor, back to Cade. Near side corner, inside to Hadia Owens, who now checks in from the bench. Cade stopping her dribbling process before passing it into Owens, and Owens doing the hard work inside. The team starting center with the points to make it 48-43.
Yeah, nice job to manage the shot clock just enough to be able to get it inside and find the open player.
Woolridge, a shot cannot go. Grabs a rebound on 2 misses, and finally third time's a charm for Elisha. 50-43, the largest lead in this game, in the hands of the Bulldogs at the moment.
Yeah, and at this point, it's going to be important for the Bulldogs to be able to, stay calm and keep managing the ball enough to, as we saw in the first half, a lot of mistakes on both sides, and the second half has been, like we mentioned before, a lot cleaner. And the Bulldogs have done a good job of that as well. So it's going to be important for them to kind of hang on and for the Wildcats to be able to put on the pressure that they've been doing as well in the second half.
Arion Abraham replaces Danae Taylor after the timeout there. 50-43 to score. Like I said, the Bulldogs with their largest lead of the contest, a 7-point advantage. Ball loose, tipped around into the hands of the Bulldogs. Running the break is Woolridge. Over to Elisha Clemens, who cannot connect. Her layup off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Ariana Williams of the Wildcats. Now spot shot 3 for Oakland High, no good. That was Yaya Spearman attempting it. But the Wildcats chasing down their missed shots. Another 3 ball for Spearman, no good. And this time it's Elisha Woolridge with the rebound for Tech. Working hard against Tramiel, and her layup goes in, but the foul call was before the shot, so she'll be shooting a 1-and-1. She made it look good, though. She tried to make it seem as if she was still in the act of being fouled on her shot attempt, but she was fouled way before that. Elisha Woolridge with 17 points to lead all scorers. The first of her 2 free throws is good on the 1-and-1, so she'll have another. Make that now 18 points for the starting senior point guard, who has played varsity basketball all 4 years at Oakland Tech. Her father, the head coach, Michael Woolridge, could not be any more proud of his daughter and team starting point guard, as Arion Abraham will check back to the bench. And the second free throw cashed in as well. 19 points now for Woolridge. And a 9-point lead for the Bulldogs. 52-43, the largest lead for any teams in this ball game. Loose ball, and the Wildcats got it, but it was Ariana Williams whose feet were out of bounds when she received the loose ball. So the Bulldogs will take over. 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in this contest. Bulldogs trying to push it to a double-digit lead. Clemens trying to break the press. Her running shot no good. Rebound pulled down by Venable Sims, who's racing up the floor. 1 against 3. Did she draw the foul? She will. She will, and now she'll have a 1-and-1 opportunity here for Oakland High.
Yeah, now we find ourselves in the same situation we saw in the first half, where really missed free throws were the name of the game in the end of that half. And so as we head down to the end of the game, especially if you're trailing, that these potential free points are going to be huge for the Wildcats.
Yaya Spearman being replaced by Olivia Moore. And shot goes in. It's now 52-44 after that made free throw there by Venable Sims. She'll look to connect on her second one as well. And she does. So Venable Sims now with 7 points in this contest brings her team back within 7. Timeout taken on the floor. 3 timeouts left for the Bulldogs as that timeout was taken by the Wildcats. They only have 2 remaining. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to play. 52-45. Tech with the lead.
And the NFHS Network is proud to partner with Under Armour on a new, fast-paced, and entertaining weekly show, Under Armour Highlights of the Week. Go to NFHSnetwork.com/UA highlights to watch. And if you see a great highlight, send it to us at UAHighlights@NFHSnetwork.com. You might just make the show.
Thank you, Allie. The Oakland High Wildcats cheerleading squad performing for the fans during the break. Like I said, this gym here at Laney College starting to get packed.
Yeah, absolutely. With both fans of the current game and the one in just a few minutes or an hour or so.
Wildcats, we know, are not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, and we've seen them battle back several times in this game, so anything can happen with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock. And really, if they can push forward, and they've been extremely aggressive, and we saw them score more than the Bulldogs in that third quarter, so there's always a chance of them being able to come back.
Bulldogs will inbound the ball as we resume after the timeout. It's Woolridge getting it up front for Clemens. Clemens with the nice mid-range jumper there. 2 points for Tech, makes it 54-45. Safan with a nice move, but she gets called for the double dribble there. 5 different scores for the Bulldogs here in the fourth quarter.
Certainly when you have those many options and being able to switch it up like that, it's hard to really contain one player when you just have another one coming down the line.
Well, they've done a good job of distributing the ball really all game, as they've had 5 players score in each of the last 3 quarters, second, third, and fourth. First quarter was the only one where they had just 3 players scoring. And a steal by Clemens, but she cannot fully control the ball, and so it will go out of bounds off the tip of her hands.
If anything, it seems like the Bulldogs are just heating up now, applying more and more pressure and being able to, grab those loose balls or trying to take back over possession when possible.
Bendy picking up her dribble, releasing a shot that is no good, follows her own missed shot, gets the rebound, and then scoops it back in for 2 points. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to have to start doing, is getting the ball into the hands of Bendy. She's going to have to put this team on her back and start making all the points. That's a nice layup there for Donnae Taylor. Back on the other end for the Bulldogs. Keeps it in a 9-point game, 56-47. Spearman, who gets called for the double dribble. Owens, who goes to Woolridge, who goes back to Owens, and then into Naila Cade, and now the Bulldogs finally get the ball across midcourt as Cade flings one up for Woolridge, who's being double-teamed, and will, I believe, draw the foul, or actually calls a timeout. (56-47) your score. The Lady Bulldogs of Oakland Tech enjoying a 9-point advantage over the Lady Wildcats of Oakland High.
Right now, Coach Will, we're just talking to his team, and, staying aggressive is important, but also staying smart as well. And when you have just over a minute and a half left, being able to move the ball around a little bit and just really keeping it away from the opposing team is going to be the most important thing for the rest of this game.
And Bendy is going to have a seat on the bench here to start the fourth quarter. Rather surprising move. Girl who scored the most points for the Wildcats this evening. 18 points. And yet she is on the bench. Coming back from the break for the Wildcats, the 5 on the floor. It's going to be Yaya Spearman with Lauren Chermiel, Aaliyah Venable-Sims, Emily Lewis, and Ariana Williams. As for the Bulldogs, inbounding the ball was Alasia Clemens. She's joined by Woolridge, Nadia Owens, Danae Taylor, and Naila Kay. And it's Clemens with the running shot there, no good. Rebound pulled down by Cade. And so another fresh 30-second shot clock here for the Bulldogs, who are just looking to wind down the clock. They have a big lead and are oh so close to clinching this year's championship in girls basketball. The Bulldogs nearly lost the ball there with some passing from Owens to Cade. And Cade is fouled by Chermiel. So Naila Cade will go to the line. A junior who is the one that head coach Woolridge said she's going to be responsible for being the main leader on the floor next year. He said his daughter is pretty much going to turn the keys to the program over to Naila Cade. Cade cannot make her first of what could have been a 1-and-1 free throw situation for her. And so it's the Wildcats ball. Nice no-look pass from Williams on over to Spearman, who finally connects on a 3-ball. She'd been trying to dial him up all fourth quarter. And from the far side, drains one in to bring it within 6. 56-50, a 2-possession ball game.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that the Wildcats are going to look for. Quick shots, and being able to be behind the three-point line is going to be helpful as well. But especially with a mistake like that just now from the Bulldogs, to throw it off the back of the rim, really to turn it back over to the Wildcats is a nice blessing for them.
Yeah, after the made three-pointer, they were able to force the Bulldogs into getting it out of bounds. And then the Wildcats with the loose ball there, they look to have the jump ball, and it will be the Wildcats ball. They call a timeout. They now have only one remaining. With 42.2 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, they stop the clock. Down by 6. The Wildcats will have the ball. What a series of events we've seen here tonight from Laney College, and this is just the first of 2 games for our coverage on the NFHS Network's coverage of the 2015 OAL Basketball Championships.
Yeah, we knew that coming into this game, both teams were familiar with each other. We mentioned earlier, both coaches were in each other's wedding, so it's been an evenly matched game so far tonight, and it's been nice for each team being able to really pace each other and kind of apply pressure when necessary and keep it this close, so close to the end of the game.
Bendy back out on the floor for the Wildcats. And Williams' shot blocked. As she put it up, it was no good. Bendy fights for the ball down low. Jump ball in favor of the Wildcats. So out on the floor for the Wildcats, it's Spearman, Bendy, Venable-Sims. Number 44 is going to check in for Ariana Williams. And then Lauren Chermiel. And as for the Bulldogs, they're going to have Cade, Owens, Woolridge, Clemens, and Abraham out there on the floor. Inbound pass to Bendy, and Bendy draws the foul. And these are 2 very important free throws for the Wildcats.
Yeah, nice job by Bendy to just go up strong and draw that foul, but especially now, foul shots have been the name of the game all day, so this is going to be important as we look down with now just over 30 seconds left.
Now, head coach Orlando Gray is going to do as he's done in prior situations from the free throw line, bring the other 4 girls over to him to have a discussion, while Bendy will shoot 2. First free throw, no good. This is off the rim. And now the other 4 players on the floor will take their positions. And the starting point guard, Caitlin Safan, will come on in for number 44. So a rather small lineup now for the Wildcats. They're looking to get some points. Safan checking in. They pretty much, in a sense, have 2 point guards on the floor to the Wildcats. Bendy, second free throw attempt. No good. Rattles in and out. Rebound picked up by Cade. And then it's into the hands of Owens, who throws it away. Into the hands of Edible Sims. Spearman trying to get a three. Couldn't get it to go. Now into the hands of Safan. Safan's pass to Spearman is stolen away by Danae Taylor, who's tripped up and will draw the foul. Nice use of the hands by Danae Taylor to come up with the steal. Safan, in an effort to just make something happen, had to trip Taylor and commit the foul. So the clock stops with 21.2 seconds remaining. A free throw here could essentially ice the game for the Bulldogs, as Danae Taylor cannot get it to go. The one-on-one, no good. And now it's Lauren Tramiel for the Wildcats. Her team down by 6, running shot, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Bulldogs of Oakland Tech. They have numbers 2-on-1. And they break the press. It's Clemens off the glass and in. 58-50. And that will end the game. The Oakland Tech Lady Bulldogs are your 2015 Oakland Athletic League Girls Basketball Champion. And the Bulldogs will start their celebration as they huddle up on the floor with their coaches, doing a little dance.